Okay, welcome back to the 100 Horror Films in 31 Days Challenge. This is officially day one, my review for yesterday's watches. I only got in three. Uh, Distracted by baseball, honestly, but I did get in three. I need to get in at least three films in a number of days. I got to get in some fours in order to make the number, but we'll take it. First up is a film I've never watched before. I watched it on Amazon Prime, which was the Diabolique, 1955 French thriller from director Henry George Clouzet, who his Wages of Fear. One of my favorite films is The Wages of Fear that he did. Uh, but I haven't seen a whole lot of French films. But I do like Wages of Fear, and I did like Diabolique. It was very good. It always gets super, super high ratings from pretty much everybody. People consider it a masterpiece. I'm not sure I think it's a masterpiece. I thought it was good. It's a noir thriller, and it's kind of got an interesting slant. So you've got a wife and a mistress of a husband who are kind of openly, all three of them just kind of openly interacting with each other. The short version is that the wife and the mistress decide that they've had enough of the husband. He's kind of an asshole, and they decide we're going to kill him off. And of course, there's money involved as usual. And mysterious things happen with the body once the murder occurs. And I won't go into it any further because I don't want to spoil it. It has an interesting twist ending, which I'll say maybe after watching a lot of movies in today's world, you know, some 50 some odd years later, I would say, I saw it coming. I mean, it's a surprise ending. I think shocked a lot of people back in the day, but probably because they didn't watch a lot of movies. But anyway, it's a good ending. I'm not saying that. It's a great ending, a great film. I liked it a lot. I'm not sure it's the masterpiece or the 10 out of 10 that most people tend to give it. Interesting sidebar on this film is that Clouzet or the producers bought the rights to based on a novel, and they bought the rights to the novel from Alfred away from Alfred Hitchcock. Alfred Hitchcock was competing to buy the rights to the film, to the novel as well, and apparently Alfred Hitchcock missed it within hours or days. I'm not sure the details of that, but anyway, I think Clouzet did a great job on it. I'm not sure Hitchcock could have done any better. It was a moody, atmospheric uh, noir thriller. I'm not familiar with these actors and actresses. All they did a great job, all of them. Uh, Simone Signoret, I think is her name. She was very good in it. But yeah, so I gave it a. Let me just make sure, check my rating here. I gave it a 7 out of 10, which is I think fair. Most people were in the 8 9 range with that one. Next up, I guess I need to talk about. So day one was werewolf theme. So as you can expect, here comes the werewolf movies. And the Wolfman, I like the Wolfman's one of my favorite characters. Oliver Reed's portrayal as the werewolf was my favorite, and I have a soft spot for Lon Chaney Jr. as well. First up is 1983's The Beast and the Magic Sword, Paul Naschy's mashup of Japanese samurais and werewolves. It's a good film. I've watched it now 4 times, including the audio commentary track. Uh, it's a good film. I think it's too self indulgent. It runs almost 2 hours, and that's a little bit too much for to me for a werewolf storyline. There's a lot of subplots. Um, you get the whole. Basically, Nashi kind of goes back to the beginning with a whole new Valdemar origin story, which was it's essentially a covenant of witches curse Valdemar, and he goes to Japan to try to find a cure, and that's kind of the tie into it. Uh, but again, there's lengthy dialogue scenes. I think it could have been cut down to 90 minutes, quite honestly. It's a fun film, no doubt about it. It's got its gore, and Paul Naschy, as always, puts his heart and soul into the role. This is a Mondo Macabro release. It's got a commentary track and some interviews and an introduction from Paul Naschy about the film. He considers this his best film. Probably wouldn't go that far, but I did like it. I gave it a. I think I'm in the 6.5 out of 10, just under 7 category for this one. Let me just check Letterboxd here. Yeah, I'm just under 7, 6.5. Next up is 1993 or 1994's Wolf. Haven't seen this in, Lord, I mean, at least 10, 15 years. Decided I would revisit it. Jack Nicholson plays an editor of a story. Basically, he's an editor that is going to get fired because he's up in age and get replaced by what the heck? I forgot the daggone guy's name. James Spader. Yeah, I forgot. James Spader, and you've got Michelle Pfeiffer in this. I think Michelle Pfeiffer and Jack Nicholson had a film just before this that they had really good chemistry, so they decided to, I guess the producers in their infinite wisdom decided to pair these two together in really a Hollywood-based wolf film that is very tepid. Bottom line is it's very, very tepid. I'm just not a fan of it. I think it's probably my least favorite Jack Nicholson portrayal. The director is a guy named Mike Nichols, who really, other than this is his only horror credit. I think he did The Birdcage, which I love. The Birdcage. Birdcage is hilarious, and he did The Graduate. The Graduate's a classic. But really, I mean, watching this film and knowing his background, I mean, I can kind of see why you either have as a director, a, basically an appreciation of the genre and a knack for the genre, if you will, or you just don't. And I think Wolf is a great example of a director's just not having a knack for horror. He just doesn't have a feel for it. I think it was by the numbers. It was a Hollywood glossy film that, very, very tepid. It was a lengthy story. I mean, really the transformation to the Wolfman took, the first hour was really the kind of the interplay. It was more about the story of Jack Nicholson, up in age, getting fired and taken from his job, and the wolf stuff was just kind of like interjected. It didn't even feel like it was a real part of the story. But anyway, it's okay. I didn't hate it. I give it a 6 out of 10. There is no special features on this release, by the way. Let's see. I think that's it. I think that was. That's it for day 1, officially day 1. Okay, well, I appreciate it. And if you've seen any of those titles or have any other thoughts, you can share them below in the comments. Thanks.